Hey folks, welcome back. I'm Matt from Deal Camp, and today we're talking about, can you buy a business if you don't know anything about that business or industry? So let's dig into that in just a second. So how do you buy a business and not know anything about it? Like, is that possible? Would people do that? Like, what should you know? What should you not know? In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about 3 things that you can do to make sure that whenever you buy a business, you know everything that you need to know to be successful in it. So even if you have not been in the industry before, you're not an expert in it. So the way that we figured this out was we had a client, his name was Rick. He came to us and he was interested. He'd been in logistics his entire career, but logistics was getting to be a tougher and tougher business, and he wanted to get out. And so we started to help him kind of think through what would it take to get into a different business. And he finally found a deal after searching for a little while. Whenever he brought it to us, he was like, hey, I don't know if I know enough to buy this company. And so we said, well, let's think through this. And he almost walked away from the deal, but we said, just give us just like a little bit of time to think through it. We'll talk through some different ways to make this work. And so first thing that we did is we found a bunch of people in the industry who are experts, who could be advisors, and we just started talking to them. And so that was the first thing that we did. And then we joined an association. And the association had these programs where you could basically join a group of people who are, in the same industry, but they're in different geographies. And you could benchmark, what's Joe doing versus Rick versus Bob, and what's working for each of them. They can share best practices, and everybody wins faster because of that. And so the associations really worked, and we met lots of vendors as a result of it. Every problem that there was somebody who had an answer to it. And we could literally, we were trying to figure out how to build the sales force for one of these companies that we're looking at in this industry. And we went and visited the company, a company in this industry who had a really great sales and marketing system, and they were just crushing it. So we went and they let us visit, and we learned over the course of 3 days pretty much everything that they were doing, so that we could bring it back to home and implement it. So we did that. So that was the second big thing that we did. And then so Rick comes in, he's got this opportunity, and we just said, let's go visit the team. Let's learn everything that we can about them. Let's see how independent they are, if they even need you, Rick. Because chances are they may have it all figured out, because it was a pretty decent sized business and they had a good manager in place. So we met the team and basically interviewed them just like they were interviewing for a job. We got some help with the questions and stuff and what to think about, and found out, yeah, they don't really need us. They're pretty dang independent. So with those 3 things, we checked the boxes on a lot of different stuff. And he realized, listen, I've got this expertise. Rick's expertise was really in the marketing of the business. And so the company that he was looking at, which was in a completely different industry, it was in IT, that company had a marketing problem. And so all Rick did was come in, he did his thing on the marketing. The other company, the company that he was buying, they continued to run it. And if Rick had a really hairy problem that nobody in the company knew how to solve, he'd go to the network, and there's lots of resources available through the network or through vendors, and get it solved like that. And so he ended up buying the business, and everything went well. And he's pretty hands off as a result of it, and has made money by doing that. So what, and who cares? The point is, if you put these 3 things into place, so it's getting good consultants and industry people either on your board or just to consult to you. It's one thing that you do. Join these associations and get into a peer group as the third thing that you can do. And then you're really looking for companies that have a management team that's pretty competent already. And if they are, and you can just focus on what you're good at, then a lot of the trouble is already taken care of for you. So it can give you a lot more confidence to go in and buy a business. But before you make the move, you do need some help on the front end. So I will caution you on that. It's like not completely risk-free, but it is a way to manage the risk. And the options that you have if you're in that situation are you continue doing what you've always been doing. And if it's not working, changing it up is probably not going to hurt you. Like, you're going to be stuck. So you got to do something else. And so for some people, the risk is, do I jump into something else? And the way that I'd ask you to think about it is more of how long do I need to be studying this something else? And what do I need around me to kind of fill in my gaps, my blind spots, so that I can make that transition safely? That's the bigger question. I don't think it's a question of whether or not you can make the shift. It's like, how long is it going to take and what resources are required? So with that's the 3 steps. If you do those 3 things, then you've got what you need to be able to make the shift. And so hopefully that helps you. And with that, if you like this video, we've got videos that come out every week, so go ahead and subscribe to get notifications. If you had something that's happened to you that's similar along these lines that you want to put in the comments, we'd love to hear like what your experience has been in these kind of situations. And if you're interested in getting some help with buying your first company or in how to do it step by step, A to Z, visit dealcamp.com. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.